Disease is something I haven't actually really talked about on the channel. So today we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about why I'm putting a fungicide down now as preventative to actually stop disease coming out in this area, because bent grass, there is a high chance of disease. And if you're looking after your lawn quite regularly, mowing it properly, fertilizing it properly and everything, you shouldn't have too much of a chance of disease pressure, but we can make mistakes and weather can just turn against us sometimes. Especially winter time. So we're going to talk about what I'm going to be putting down today and what I'm trying to prevent, and what you guys can look at preventing in your lawns as well. Yo mate, what up? Welcome to another lawn tip vid. So the green is still looking lush as at the moment. Again, I did blow a heap of leaves off this morning and a little bit of duck poo. It wasn't too bad today. As you can see, the blower's been out and there's a little bit of dew hanging around here and there. But today I'm due for a fungicide app, so I thought I would talk to you guys about it. I haven't actually really talked about my fungicide program and what I'm doing for this area. So let's talk about product I'm applying today, what I'm trying to prevent, and also what you guys could possibly see, and I've seen a lot of over the last couple of seasons coming into springtime. So today I'm going to be putting out a product called Heritage Max. So the reason I'm putting this product down is to actually prevent a disease called winter fusarium. Now, the reason I'm trying to prevent this is because it's very common here in orange, especially in bent grass. Can find it in ryegrass as well. I've had it in ryegrass in the past. And you normally get it when you get quite a few frosts, or you're getting quite a lot of rain too through the season. Some of the golf courses in town have already seen some fusarium. If you're in the States, fusarium is the same as what you guys call snow mold. So that's what fusarium is. But something like Heritage Max is a great way to prevent that, which is some asoxystrobing. Now I've used in the past some propiconazole mixed with asoxystrobing. Oh, the reason I'm not using propiconazole, which is Banamax, today is because it actually has a little bit of a PGR effect and it will slow down the growth of your lawn, which I don't really want to slow down the growth of the bent grass yet. I'd rather keep it ticking along. So we're just going to put some asoxystrobing out today as a preventative treatment. So this will last up to about 28 days. Now, Heritage is also going to prevent a few other diseases. You're not only looking at fusarium, spring dead spot, which is a super common one. You got to get down your fungicide application now to prevent spring dead spot, especially in couch grass, or Bermuda as you guys call it in the States. And I've seen a lot of it over the last couple of years, a lot more springy, I guess because I've been looking online and seeing guys having the problem. But if you want to prevent that disease, spring dead spot, something like some Heritage is a very, very good way to prevent yourself from having that issue. It can also help out with Pythium, so preventing Pythium. So Pythium is very, very common on a new area, a new lawn, or somewhere that's getting a lot of water and the water's just sitting on top of the turf and not sort of running away. You find it can be very, very common. There's a lot of moisture or humidity about, or even in the cooler months, if your lawn isn't super established or it's just not super healthy because you haven't been keeping up with your potassium and your phosphorus through the winter time to help strengthen the leaf and give it some vigor. So there's quite a few things we can prevent. So we're sort of trying to prevent not only fusarium, but also some Pythium on top of that as well. Now preventatives, I am rotating fungicides at the moment. So I have been using Impala as well, which has got some different actives in there. And we've got a Heritage as well. Now I'm applying basically about every 6 weeks. I've been rotating between those two. I'll probably back off in the next little bit because you don't want to over apply fungicides, because you can get disease resistance in your turf if you just keep using the same fungicide over and over. All the labels will state how many times you can use a fungicide in a year and what they recommend as well. So this will be my last application of Heritage. Now for timing of putting down your fungicides, generally with a home lawn, I recommend doing it when there's a change in season, or if you know there's going to be an onset of lots and lots of rain or possibly a lot of humidity. You don't try to apply it monthly on a home lawn because you don't really need to, because you're not getting down to those crazy height cuts like your 3-4 mil. You're setting up more around 10 mil if you're keen, 15, 20 mil. So there's not as much disease pressure, but it's definitely still possible. But you're more going to try to time it times of the season when there's a season change, like when we're going from summer to autumn, autumn to winter, winter to spring, is when you usually get a bit of disease pressure. So we'll see like something like some dollar spot in the early spring when we're sort of lacking a little bit of nitrogen most of the time, and also jumping from summer into autumn, you tend to see quite a lot of dollar spot hanging around as well. Whereas things like brown patch can be more through the summer, even through the autumn time. Even this time of year you can still see brown patch. It really just depends on the environment and what the rain's been like, the humidity, the temperature, everything. Like there's so many variables to these things. But it's common to see diseases all year round, but there's times of year that they're going to be more prominent depending how they react to the weather. But I just really like to mention, make sure you read the labels and you'll understand a lot more if you go through the labels, look at what they target. Make sure you're looking at the difference between a curative, which is going to cure something that is already there, or preventative, which is like we're applying today, which is going to prevent disease coming on. So you're getting ahead of the game, so you're not going to get that damage. But today we're also going to put out some liquid fertilizer with the Heritage Max. So I'm going to put some Enhance down, which is my liquid iron and my nitrogen product, which we're going to put down with that Heritage on the green, just to keep pushing a little bit of colour and a little bit of growth as well. We're also going to do the ryegrass, and that's where we're going to put out my lawn tips mix with a little bit of Enhance as well, because as I've said to you guys, I'm trying to do at least a monthly application on the ryegrass for our liquid fertilizer, because we're still getting growth. So you can definitely use liquids this time of year. And on the green, I'm doing it every 2 weeks with some added kelp as well, just to really help that root system, strengthen up the leaf with some vigor in that as well, with our P and our K that's included in those products, and just to keep this thing ticking along and maturing properly coming into spring. So I'm putting in my water first, and then I'll mix in my product afterwards. But these products are all going to be fine here with our fungicide. If you ever want to know if a fungicide's going to mix with fertilizers, liquid ferts and stuff, it will say on the label if it's going to be compatible with liquid fertilizers. So always make sure you check on your label as well. But let's mix it up, let's put it out. Whoa, that mix has some stank to it. Whew. You know there's something good in there when it smells like that. So, just forgot to mention as well that today I'm putting this down for a leaf and crown disease, which is Fusarium. So I'm not going to water this product in. If I was going for a root disease, where sometimes Pythium can either be leaf and crown or root, I could have watered this in, but just gonna leave it on the leaf. I had to make sure I got the right amount of water out with it. So 5 litres per 100 square metres is what I aim for, which is why I also went over the area twice as well, just to get the right amount of water out over the area. But man, this green is shining. Unfortunately today I didn't get to do another spray on the fairways and stuff because we had so much rain yesterday, and we've potentially got some rain predicted later today, only light stuff, but I prefer to get glyphosate out and not have any rain down afterwards. Plus it's probably a little bit windy to be spraying a herbicide. Fertilizers I'm not too worried about, and those nozzles are nice and close to the ground there as well on that spray there, as opposed to the TTI spray that I've got. So fertilizing and putting down some fungicide, which I was going to do anyway, was what I was going to do today. But thanks guys so much for watching, appreciate it. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to till that next week, which I kind of really want to, like get the power rake in there, or do I spray it again? I'm thinking I'm just gonna get the power rake in there and then do a spray afterwards. I'm still going to do a few sprays after the fact anyway, and even in springtime when something will come up, because we're not laying until October, so later in the season. But yeah, I think next week we're going to get stuck into it so we can get into irrigation quicker and get everything done before winter ends, because it's the start of winter but it's going to go quick. Anyway, thanks guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys' support. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Like this video if you enjoyed it or you learned something today. You guys have a good one. I'll see ya.